Katelyn, look at these homemade toys Mommy and Daddy made you.
Yeah.
As the whole world is quantitative easing, Bitcoin's about to be quantitative hardening. So they're going to cut the daily supply, or the software is going to cut the daily supply. It doesn't mean that the price of Bitcoin is being cut in half. It just means that the daily supply is being cut in half. You might want to think about it like oil, where all of a sudden in 11 days, half the oil rate.
Hey, hon, did you order a bunch of stuff for Katelyn?
No?
I guess we need to start at the very beginning. Your mother and I were married on March 12th, 2016. By outward appearances, the ceremony was about us. But even then, our minds were already fixated on you. We didn't yet know what your name was going to be, or even whether you'd be a boy or a girl. But I already knew that if you inherited even half the personality and compassion that your mother has, you'd be perfect. The plan was simple. Get married, then travel a bit before you arrived. We got thrown a few curveballs along the way, but eventually the plan was carried out. See that Jeep way over there in the distance? Your mother was sitting in the passenger seat, already 3 months pregnant with you. In your first year, there would be thousands of photos taken of you, but this one was the very first. It was taken just 5 days after you started growing. We tried getting you to smile, but you just weren't cooperating that day.
And then once the embryo is placed into the center of the cavity, you'll see a white flash.
So it's Monday, October 29th, 2018, and I just found out this morning that I'm pregnant. I'm actually kind of still in shock because I was expecting them to say that I wasn't. So I think we're going to keep it a secret for a couple days. It's nice to have a little secret between us for a little bit. Today is Halloween, and I went in for my second pregnancy test today to test my HCG levels. Everything's going really well. I went ahead and told my immediate family today, and so now everybody in my immediate family knows, but we're not going to tell anybody else until we have successfully gone through our whole first trimester, which should be sometime around Christmas. it's a super happy Halloween for us.
Today is Monday, November 12th, and I just had my first ultrasound. I got to see our little baby, looks like a shrimp, and they gave me these ultrasound images. This first one here shows that the heartbeat, which they said is really uncommon to be able to see the heartbeat this early. I'm 6 weeks pregnant, so we're really happy. Everything is looking great, and they said we can come in next week for another ultrasound, and that one Ken will be present for. Hopefully he'll get to see a little bit more of our little baby. This was the ultrasound from Tuesday, November 20th. So that's the little baby, that's the heart rate, and there's the baby again, tracking on schedule, actually right on time to be for the delivery date of July 7th, 2019. They said everything was looking good except for this little piece right here, which is like a little bit of a hemorrhaging. They said it's very common to have some bleeding in early pregnancy, which is what this is here. So they just want to monitor it and see what happens, but they said in most pregnancies it goes away and it's not really an issue. So it's nothing to be concerned about. And then today is Monday, November 26th, and it was the third ultrasound. And in this one, as you can see, the hemorrhaging is gone, which is awesome. And there's a little baby.
When Santa visited us on Christmas Eve that year, he brought gifts for all the children. But he also had a surprise for Denise. 2 pink shoes for a baby. Now the whole family would know about you. Santa also lost his pants on the way out the door, but that's a story for another time. To announce to the world that we were pregnant with you, we wrote it in the sand on a beach and took an aerial video. The placement looked a lot better from the ground than it did from the air.
So today is Sunday, February 17th, and I'm officially 20 weeks pregnant today, which is halfway point. Here's my belly. In terms of symptoms, my biggest symptom right now is just heartburn. Also thirsty, being really thirsty all the time. So, and if I don't drink enough water, I get a headache. I haven't really had too many food cravings, though I do have food preferences, I would say. I tend to like salads a lot, fruit a lot. I did have one craving for a nectarine. I don't like Brussels sprouts. I don't like sauteed spinach. I don't like fish. All these things, unfortunately, are good for me, but I don't really like the taste of them or the smell of them anymore. So I guess we need to start doing some preparing because, you know, this little girl's gonna make her entrance. My favorite thing about being pregnant is how Ken looks at me and how he always wants to touch my belly and see if he can feel our little girl. And he's very, very attentive and very delicate with me, which is really endearing, and I love it. It's getting real. So I am going to be 28 weeks tomorrow, and we've officially got our baby furniture set up. I mean, we still need to do some decorating and get some other things, and bedding would be nice, and a mattress, but yeah, we've got baby furniture. So here at my baby shower, my mom and my mother-in-law put this whole thing together. Looks pretty beautiful. So today is my last day at work. I actually went out on maternity leave a little bit, like a week and a day earlier than expected. because yesterday at my doctor appointment, we found out that I'm already 3 centimeters dilated, and that was on June 5th. There's potential that I could go into labor early, and I don't want to be at work when that happens. So I decided to just go ahead and take my maternity leave now. So it's 12:48 right now, p.m. in the afternoon, and about 10 minutes ago maybe, I think my water broke. It's June 7th, exactly a month before I'm due. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're not ready, but this baby girl's coming. I called you in the middle of the day. It is Friday, June 7th, 2019, and it's 1:44 p.m. and Ken is taking me to the hospital. So we're gonna go find out if this is a false alarm or if this baby's coming a whole month early. Like, I actually called Ken before I called the doctor's office, so he rushed home. If I do get admitted, we're gonna have to call my sister and ask her to wash the baby clothes and blankets and bring him to the hospital for us because we were unprepared.
But check this out. Look
Well,
at that car seat installed and ready to go.
Yeah, Ken installed the car seat.
We have the essentials.
Yeah, we have the essentials. They have a baby?
Yep.
I think so. All right.
Can I get your ID to check you in? Sure.
Yeah, so what,
All right, what do you think?
I'm not ready.
So, because her water broke and she's not having contractions, they're thinking they might have to induce. So we're kind of waiting on the doctor to come. She might be here. All right, here we go. Ultimately, the doctor decided to induce labor. As you'll see, you caught the doctor by surprise with how quickly you were ready to make your debut.
So if you have another contraction, just stay on your side and breathe through it. Stay not push. Okay, because the doctor's coming.
So this is an NICU delivery, right? We need you. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
I'm not gonna go to just like that. Really focused. Really focused. You don't push.
Yeah, we made her close her face.
Okay, Dr. Madison's here, so push. No, not yet. Not yet. Just keep breathing. We're getting ready, okay? If she rolls over, she's gonna just get my boots on. Like, yeah,
What was that?
let's take a picture of Dad freaking out.
That's an out description.
Well, no one ever takes a picture of that.
Okay, go ahead and roll back on your back. And you're gonna, where's it?
Yeah.
Okay, go back. Push.
Good job. Stop pushing heads out. Do you know what a full head of hair this baby has?
Yeah.
That's a full head of hair.
Hi. Oh,
Look how gorgeous she is. You did such a good job.
Congratulations, Mama.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little baby done on that right there.
Good. Keep on that crying. Good job.
Yeah, good sound right in between those two metal plants. Good.
That's hard.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, bless you.
Aww.
God bless you.
Aww.
All right, who she is.
Yeah.
Or 201 SH would be better.
Isn't she beautiful? congratulations, you guys.
Thank you so much.
And for showing me for anything, obviously I'm around.
After 2 full days in the hospital, it was finally time to take you home on the morning of Monday, June 10th, 2019. In the past, I've been told I'm a pretty safe, conservative driver, but you should have seen me driving you home. I'm sure the people in the cars behind me were pretty upset. Taking you home put us through a whirlwind of emotions. It was the beginning of a new chapter in our lives that would present us with incredible joy, but also with a new set of challenges, the details of which we had no way of anticipating or preparing for. But we were as ready as we'd ever be. Hi, Onyx. The first thing you had to do after we brought you home was to get 3 very important approvals. At first, they didn't even notice you. They took more interest in the new furniture, the crib, the rocking chair, etc. It was only after they had thoroughly explored underneath the crib that they noticed that there was something moving on the mattress. It didn't happen overnight, but they came to accept you, eventually. Over the next few weeks, friends and family from all over came to see you for the first time.
¿Tú crees? Yo creo también, ¿verdad?
What do you think of your cousin, Luca?
She's cute.
Yeah?
Small.
How about you, Liam?
Same.
So I just wanted to talk real quick about my experience of my first month with Katelyn. The first month was really a joy because I got to spend so much time with her and with Ken since we were both off for the first month to bond with her. However, it was also really difficult. The worst part of it was I also had carpal tunnel, which I still have right now. It's you're almost two months old, and I still have carpal tunnel. However, it's much more tolerable now. I can actually do things. And then on top of all of that, I also got mastitis. So just that first month was pretty tough for me physically, but emotionally it was a complete joy. And I'm very lucky that I get to be with you all the way through October on maternity leave. You know, my favorite things are just laying there with you on my chest, you know, or when you stare at me when I'm feeding you, or you just want to look at me in general. Like I love it. My heart melts. And some of the things that I really liked when you were really newborn, you used to make this noise, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get on video because it's so random that you you do it, but it was like this goat noise, or like it was, I don't know, I can't do it, but it was super, super cute and really adorable. Yeah, I don't know, I'm in love.
Now that you were a few weeks old, it was time to take you on a walk for the very first time. You had lots of fun milestones in your 3rd month. You started to grab at toys, especially your singing caterpillar. You started smiling more and sticking your tongue out.
Hi, baby.
Everyone said giving you tummy time is important for developing your crawling and walking skills, so we were pretty concerned when we discovered that you absolutely hated tummy time. We started introducing you to other babies your age. Before we knew it, it was time to experience your very first summer.
Katelyn is officially 3 months old today, and to celebrate, we're taking her in the pool for the first time. Yay!
In your 4th month, you started looking at yourself in the mirror, chewing things, and being able to recognize your mother. Basically, I was still chopped liver at this point. You started being able to roll from your side to your back.
I love you.
But no matter how much we tried to encourage you, you still hated tummy time. In your 5th month, you really started to discover your voice. You started squealing a lot when you got happy. You started grabbing your knees and feet and pulling them toward your face. At this point, you were able to sit upright on your own for about a few seconds. And smiles were still pretty hard to come by at this point, so it was really rewarding when we actually got one. It was around this time that we took you on your first vacation ever, Yosemite National Park. I wish I could say that you were enamored with the gigantic trees, the beautiful waterfalls, and the glistening rivers, but to be honest, getting tickled and seeing your mother continued to be the main things that you got excited about. Basically, the only half dome you were interested in seeing was, never mind. We started putting you in front of the piano to just let you bang away. I kid you not, your mother actually asked me, is it me, or does her music actually sound good? You liked interacting with the cats, but I'm not sure the feeling was mutual. Where is she? 6th month, you started interacting with the cats more. You started to really like your jumperoo. We were finally able to get you to smile whenever we wanted to. I usually use duck noises or my Krusty the Clown impression. We took you to a gymboree class. We gave you your very first haircut, which you weren't too excited about. Did I mention you didn't like tummy time? We started taking you to a 10-week program called Music Together. Musical instruments had to be disinfected after every song because they always went straight into your mouth. In your 7th month, you learn that your friends' ears are, well, not actually toys. You love being tickled. We gave you a popsicle for the first time.
Wow, that's a big piece.
You became obsessed with a new toy we got you called the Activity Cube. So much so that you would accidentally tip it over on top of you sometimes.
Whoa, whoa, little girl.
You gotta be careful with that thing. You love taking naps with your mother, though I think she did most of the sleeping sometimes. You started to become slightly more comfortable with tummy time. You'd even start trying to crawl toward things you wanted to play with, but in doing so, you'd actually wind up crawling backward. Now, it was time to celebrate your very first Christmas. You really started to love bath time. We started giving you more playtime in the bath. If left to your own devices, you'd probably have stayed in there for hours. It was that month that we took you to the park for the first time. You started interacting more with toys. You'd spend copious amounts of time on your activity mat grabbing at the various sea animals. You started standing up in your crib around this time. You tried eating it too, but that went for pretty much everything you came into contact with.
I am working on Katelyn's menu for her first year of eating solid foods.
In January of 2020, we took you to the snow for the first time.
What is this?
Leo, what do you think?
We got you a snowsuit to keep you warm in the snow, but it turned out to be a little bit too comfortable. These guys look pretty concerned, don't they? That's because you're learning how to crawl. In your 9th month, you got really good at sabotaging your photo shoots. You loved helping out with laundry, but I use the term help very loosely. Your food palette became much more refined. And you started to get really good at crawling. In your 10th month, you started exploring on your own at the park.
Life is a winding road.
We danced with you.
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights.
Played peekaboo.
Won't stop for
And took you to the
traffic
zoo.
lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes.
started to get really into reading. And by reading, I mean destroying your bookshelf and thoroughly wearing out your mother.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
You emptied drawers at every chance you got.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly.
I think it's really cute when every time we put her to eat, like we put her in her chair to eat, she's always like looking around for what am I eating today? I think it's hilarious when she's playing the piano and she starts messing with all of the special effects. When she's crawling on the floor and you start to chase her and she gets really excited and she like starts squealing and trying to crawl faster. I love that. That's super cute. A funny thing she does is go over to her dresser and open up the drawers and then throw all of her clothing out of the drawers, and then sometimes she'll like put them on her head. But it's like her favorite thing is to just take the stuff and throw them out. Nope, not that one. Next. Katelyn she is 9.5 months old right now, and we're pretty sure she's gonna be walking soon. She is zipping around crawling, and she's been crawling since 7.5 months, but she can get places fast now, so you really have to watch her. She can stand on her own. She can stand for about 4.5 seconds before she falls down. What I really want Katelyn to find is somebody who loves her as much as she loves him, and somebody who's always putting her first and always showing her how much he loves her. Someone who treats her with respect and warmth and compassion. I really hope that Katelyn winds up with somebody that's just like her daddy. I want Katelyn to experience life, and I want her to explore whatever it is that she wants to do. Like, I want to support her in her endeavors. Like, that's my goal as a parent, is to figure out what it is that she loves doing and to support her in any way to make it happen.
What do you have to say for yourself? It is Saturday, April 18th, 2020, and Katelyn is a little bit over 10 months old. I think she's getting ready to walk. So I'm trying to keep the camera handy today, make sure I don't miss it if it happens. But she's cruising on furniture and kind of looking like she's about to take her first step. So we'll see what happens. Katelyn, if there's one thing I want to instill in you, it's that the only thing that truly matters in life is your connections to friends and family. In the grand scheme of things, everything else is just a distraction. Speaking of friends and family, you already have a huge head start there. Don't mess it up. Know that your mother and I will be with you as long as we can to celebrate your victories and to lift you back up when you fail. We want this video to serve as a rock for you. If ever we're not around and you're feeling unloved or find yourself trying to regain your balance, we take great comfort in knowing that you'll be able to watch this and be reminded that your worth is infinite, your capabilities are as vast as your dreams, and that it's your human right to reach for the stars.
Katelyn, before you were born, I never thought I could love anyone so unconditionally as I love you. You give meaning to my life and make me the happiest mother in the world. I love you more than you can imagine, and my only wish for you is that you lead a life well lived.
In the words of Mark Twain, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. He was bouncing up and down on the. This sucks. This interview is terrible.
Oh, what do you have in your finger? Your fingers are sharp. Ouch.
Hey, listen to the news. The governor's reopening the state to phase 2 for retail shops and religious organizations on Friday. And that means our house is reopened. So I want the baby here on Friday, okay? Or I'll be at your house knocking it down. Bye.